Hey guys, it's me again, Barry with Barry's A-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair, and this is video number 6 for today, so I hope my makeup job is still holding up and that my nose isn't too shiny. Today we're looking at a Quadraflex 8-track player. Now, Quadraflex is not very well known. Quadraflex was a high-end audio manufacturer. They were prevalent around the same time as when Gerard was putting out the 0100 turntable. Dual was putting out the 12, I think the 1218 and the 1229 turntables. Pioneer had the SX 636 and 637. Somewhere in that area was when Quadraflex was kind of an active. I've seen Quadraflex speakers. I didn't see a whole lot of Quadraflex stuff, and they were probably around something of the same order as like Doak Order as far as popularity goes. They were high end, very good stuff, but they just weren't selling as much as like the more popular Pioneer, Kenwood, Marantz, Gerard type things going on back then. But at any rate, I can definitely confirm that this is indeed a high-end tape deck. They've done quite a few things. It's got a separate power button, which is really rare on a home recording deck, since the power can be activated just by inserting tape. But they went ahead and put an extra power button on there. You've got choice between mic and line inputs, and they kind of did a neat thing with this piano key arrangement to make it somewhat resemble a cassette deck. I guess it was because probably this deck came along a little bit late in the 8-track craze, and they were kind of trying to compete with cassettes by making it look more like a cassette unit. I really don't know. I'm strictly making ill-educated guesses here. But anyway, a little bit about this unit. When the customer emailed me about it, he said it was missing some mechanical parts, mainly the cap stand he was missing. So I do have some. I do have quite a few replacement mechanical parts for one certain type of tape transport. Thankfully, that's the most popular one that was used. It's this Mitsumi transport that you've seen on my website. You see it in a lot of different 8-track units. It's a nice, a cheaper, lightweight, but well-built and very reliable type of transport. So I needed the customer to send me some pictures of the inside of the unit to make sure that it had the type of transport that I have the parts for. So that and I confirmed, okay, yep, I've got the parts, and I did have the parts. What we couldn't see though from the pictures was that it's because it's buried beneath a little circuit board. It's still missing. It did have the capstan. The capstan was in the machine. It was rolling around inside the machine, but it was missing the cam that activates the track change solenoid. A couple other very minor small mechanical parts that I did have on hand, so I could complete the reassembly of this transport. But one thing we couldn't see was underneath a little bit of circuit board there is this it's either a copper or a brass disc that it locks in with the track change cam, and it spins when the cam spins, and that's how it distributes voltage to whichever track indicator lamp is being lit at the time. Obviously, if it's on track 3, then it's in a position where it's sending voltage to the track 3 indicator lamp. Well, that piece is missing, and that's not a part that came with the transport. That's a part that's added by the manufacturer. See, these transports, they came with a capstan, a motor, a little terminal strip that you could use however you wanted to, all the necessary mechanical parts to contain the capstan, and give us something to screw onto. And then it came with the cam that mechanically activates like a track change solenoid, but it does not come with any of the electronics that connects to the rest of the deck. That is, it does not come with that little circuit board and disc that spins. Unfortunately, that is a specialized part that you're only going to find in a similar model. So the result of this is that it plays fine, it'll record fine, it'll change tracks fine, but you don't have any of the auto stop features, because that is controlled by that little spinning brass thing, and you also don't have any indication of what track you're on, because we don't have that piece in there to distribute that voltage to the to the program indicator. So what we've got basically is a car unit in a home, because most car units don't have track indicator lamps. So that being stated, we'll go ahead and pop a tape in here and make sure that it plays like it's supposed to. And one nice thing about this Quadraflex deck is the moment you press the tape and bam, I mean it just starts playing right away. There's no warm up, there's no ramping up to full volume. I mean the moment you put that tape in there, it starts. So here we go. So we'll make sure that we've got output on both sides, which we do. And now we're just going to switch tracks a bunch of times. Now the fast forward does work, but I don't recommend using fast forward. It'll for sure make your tapes jam eventually. Your track repeat will work because all that does is not allow it to change tracks. But the stop each and stop at the end of 4, those two won't work. Your pause will still work. The reset is for the counter. The counter is bad, which is typical, very typical. Okay, so we're going to try another tape, but first I'll explain something about the counter, because this customer did not fill out a work order. Oh, no, yes, he did. Okay, so that's covered in the work order. I don't, counters, almost all your counters have a worm gear that breaks. That gear is not available, so I never guarantee that your counter is going to work when I send it back. In fact, I don't even carry belts for the counters because hardly any of them ever work. So let's go ahead and pop another tape in here. Let's pop in some Herb Alpert. Something a little bit more mellow here. And switch tracks a bunch of times. Well, with all the other cool features that this thing has, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have an eject feature. But that's another thing that just adds to the complication, and it's more stuff to break down anyway. So it's best not to even have that if you're able to reach in and pull that tape out. So again, I apologize for not being able to get the track change button or the track indicator buttons alight. That is dependent on a part that should have been with the unit that I could not be expected to have the part for. It's just not a part that you would have around, because it's a part that never goes bad unless it's not there. And because I'm able to fix just about any 8-track player that comes in, there really are no machines laying around that I can gut parts out of, because you know, I make sure I try to make at least 95% sure that I can fix the machine with the parts I've got before I accept the job. That's why I asked the customer to send me pictures of the internals and stuff like that. But that missing part that makes the program indicator buttons light, that just could not be seen from that photo. It was buried underneath the circuit board. And yeah, there was. It's been, somebody's gotten in there and done something to it, and you know that's not too unusual. But they really need to have all the mechanical parts, you know, for me to really be able to fix all the functions. So that being stated, we got it playing nicely, and it's going to last a long time. It's a Quadraflex. It's a darn good unit, and I'm going to save you the usual sales pitch because it's video number 6, and I'm kind of tired of saying it, frankly. So I'm just going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.